Mad family and friends, today we're going to talk LMI. I'm going to use my experience in the decade I've been writing home loans to show you all the tricks of the trade to save you money, because hey, why should you be paying thousands of dollars or more of insurance when you don't have to? I want to see the money in your pocket, not in the bank's. So first off, I'm going to show you how different LVR bands can save you up to 5-6 grand. It's a quick win. First off, I'm going to show you something I think is fundamental. Making sure you don't borrow any more than 90%. 90% is a very sweet spot for the banks. I'm going to show you how if you borrow 90.01, it makes a crazy difference and just uneconomical. Now, if you look at my screen here, I've done a scenario which is 90%. So buying for $700 and getting a mortgage of $630, as you can see, that's 90%. Now look, let's sort of just look at one bank for argument's sake. Look at Combank, one of the biggest banks in this country. They will charge you about 15 grand of LMI. Now if I make this loan $631,000, I'll borrow you $1,000 more. As you can see, the LMI for Commonwealth Bank is up to $20,000. So to borrow an extra $1,000, it's cost you an extra $5,000 in mortgage insurance. Uneconomical. Now, by the way, all banks have their different, what we call sweet spots. For example, ING's sweet spot, 88%. There's way too many to name, but fundamentally, lesson, go to an expert. Go to a broker who knows their stuff. Going to a broker who hasn't got their finger on the pulse is going to cost you unnecessary thousands of dollars of insurance. Okay, for those who are watching who are first home buyers, they want to buy an owner-occupied property and pay principal and interest. I can think off the top of my head, there's about 3 or 4 banks that do 85% no lenders and mortgage insurance. People like St. George, people like UBank, who used to be 86-400, they're owned by National Bank, and I believe even Citibank are doing it. So there are quite a few banks who change their policy because they want more business. Rather than being 80% no LMI, they'll do 85. These guys are changing their policies all the time, trying to get more business. Now, brokers, proactive brokers, we get email notifications, we get phone calls from our bank representatives all the time. So we're always at the front of mind because we're the biggest distribution arm for the banks. What's going on? George, we're doing X, we're doing Y. So we always know where the best policies are. So when we speak to a customer who's just shy of 80%, we go, listen, this bank's doing this, they could save you 10 grand by going through them. So again, go to a broker who knows what's going on. And just to show you how much of a big difference this makes in money in your pocket in unnecessary paid insurance. On a 700 grand purchase, the difference between 20% and 15% is $35,000 deposit. And that's a lot of money. But if you go to one of these banks who allow you to borrow 85% no LMI, guys, that's like a saving of probably anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 between their banks. So it's pretty worthwhile. Even though some banks may be giving you a crazy deal at 80%, if the rate's a little bit higher at 85, but they're paying 8 grand of mortgage insurance, you've got to really crunch the numbers. Another awesome way to get rid of lenders' mortgage insurance is to look at guarantor loans. Now, I love guarantor loans, but a lot of brokers don't, and a lot of banks don't even offer it. For example, NAB used to be awesome at doing guarantor loans, but they don't even do them anymore. So going to a broker that specializes them will make your life a lot easier. But this completely obliviates lenders and mortgage insurance. This allows you to borrow 100% plus the buying associated fees. Now, traditionally, you might think that the guarantor would actually guarantee the full loan. Not anymore. Now they do limited guarantees. So if you buy a property for 500 grand, they separate it into 2 loans. 400 grand, which is 80%, that's in your name, the applicant. That's secured by your house, which you just bought. Then the second loan will be the limited guarantee one, which is 100 grand. And 100 grand is in your name, the applicant, but it's guaranteed by your parents. Limited guarantee. You log into internet banking, both your loans. But if something was to ever happen, the guarantor is only liable for the guaranteed loan. Limited guarantees, awesome way to get the market. Doesn't have to be your first house, can be a second. Gee, it can even be for an investment property. Guarantor loans are a great way for you to build property wealth. Okay, for those watching, if you are a professional, for example, lawyer, accountant, doctors, surgeons, these type of people. Even a nurse. Even if you're a sporting person, you play for Raw, or you play for the Wallabies. There's actually so many special deals going on for you guys. They do 90 to 95% no lender's mortgage insurance for some of you people. Now there's all banks, because remember there's 40 banks out there, they all have different things they're chasing. So it's up to the broker to know where to sort of put this deal so you can get that LMI waiver. Just to show you how powerful these LMI waivers are, I've done a scenario right behind me. In this scenario, I had a client who bought a property for $1.2 million. They're a medical professional. I got them a loan for 95%. Which was $1.14 million. They saved $61,000. The bank just completely wiped off the LMI. So if you're a medical professional and you aren't aware of these special deals for you, or you're part of any of those associations, lawyers, accountants, sporting professional, pharmacist, nurse, there's too many to list. You've got to go through a broker who knows their stuff, because there's money on the table there and we want to see it in your pocket, not the bank's. But, and there's always a but, some banks have income things. So for example, you need to make at least 150 grand a year. You gotta be a member of this particular association and so on and so forth. It's not the end of the world, but again, just you're gonna have to lean on a broker who's expert in this. Now, of course, I'm biased. I'm from MAD. We're all over this. Every day we know exactly what banks are doing what. So if you like the video, please do a couple of things. One, subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep getting this sort of content. But two, if you want to give us a call, work out how much money you can afford. If there's any special deals going out to save you money, I want to see more money in your pocket, less in the banks. Have a mad day.